according to the topic, you already know what I'm supposed to be looking right here. Sorry guys. Good evening, good morning if you're just waking up and seeing this, good afternoon, good night if you're watching this while you are sleeping. Yep, so welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome home. This is Damaris. Before you continue watching this video, make sure you have before you continue
Jesus.
Kizungu is not Kizungu. It's not Kizungu. There are ways in which we were taught that they are the most appropriate ways of approaching God, of praying, of asking for something, of interacting with the Spirit of God, or interacting with God. Okay. So I was just sitting and decided, you know what, I record and share my own ways which I feel they are appropriate to approach God, especially after, or for a person who has encountered or experienced a personal encounter with God. Everyone has their own time of experiencing a personal encounter with God, and I feel like some people have it at a very young stage, at a very younger age. Others have it later on, after they have, you might have been brought up in church. You grew up as church person, church baby. Now you're grown up, you still go to church, but you have not yet experienced God on a very personal level. Yes, that happens, but everyone has their own timing. The first time I had a personal encounter with God, that was back in 2019. It wasn't really like, angels coming, booming in my room, light filling my room, being blinded by a very white light, an angel appearing in front of me, hearing a heavy voice of God. No. Hearing footsteps on the roof, someone crawling on the roof. No, it wasn't as dramatic as people might want to put it. Having a personal encounter with God is just, I don't know how I can explain it, but in my entire life, that is the sweetest moment or feeling that I have ever had, having a personal encounter with God. And it liberated, the first thing the encounter did to me was liberate me from religion. Being liberated from religion is not as easy. It actually requires God, for sure, because we grow up being brainwashed by religion, having these practices based on our religion, which when I look back at them now, I feel so sad for the people who are still holding on to religion. So the first encounter, the first thing God did to me was erase religion. Like, I became, I don't know, a spiritual person, or I'm just And the other thing that the encounter helped me realize is that God's presence is always with us, and when God's presence, always and forever. The most teachings or beliefs, I don't know, some people grow up with those beliefs, some will just pick up on the way of life. Is that some beliefs, someone is calling me. Anyway, so the most held belief by many is that you have to, you have to prepare yourself to come before the presence of God, or you have to be some kind of a perfect person to approach God. If God is your greatest friend, then you can communicate to Him as you wish. Yes, as you wish, as you want, anytime, anywhere, any moment. When your days are over, when finally your days have come to an end, let's say you're just old and it's time to say goodbye to the world. Nobody knows the moment, whether it will be daytime or nighttime, but we all have to go at some point. We have to say goodbye to this realm. Well, let that sink in. Let that sink in, that one day you will have to transition to the next world. Well, when your days are 100% are over and you've crossed over, who are you expecting to meet? You are God. Of course you are God. Who else? Devil? Satan? Are you prepared for that? Are you prepared to meet eye to eye with Lucifer? I guess not. So, well, you will meet your own Father. Your source is your God. Your God is your source, and there your soul shall return. That's your Father. for eternity. So I was asking, how do you want to go and meet a father that his presence has been with you since you were born, and his presence is promised to be with you until the last breath, until your last breath? How do you approach this, that your father, your eternal father, has been with you from day one and you have never recognized his presence, or all you have been taught in this life is how to approach your own father? Like, bring sacrifices, you have to be perfect, you have to be holy, you have to arrange your words, how to approach God. God only answers prayers of the righteous, and you are not even aware that you are a righteous person. And people brainwashed you and made you think you are a sinner, or you need to do more to deserve the attention of your own father. So here's the thing, here is the deal breaker. I don't want to teach you the religious way, but to make you think that God is only for the perfect people. No. Your own dad, your own father is your father, no matter what. The first thing you need is to understand, how do you relate with God? Before people come and teach you that you have to be righteous, only the church people answer their prayers, only bishop and archbishops can access the presence of God. Seriously? This father of yours knows the end from the beginning from the end. Actually, you are alive, he has scripted it, and the only person who can guide you, who can interpret the meaning of your seasons which you go through life, is your own father. He knows you from the beginning to the end. He knows you inside out. So, how to approach God, how to approach his presence? First thing is understanding who is God to you. So say God is your father. So there is no need to script your words. There is no need to ask for his presence. He is there. Actually, you cannot compare God with our mortal fathers, because they may be far, they may be absent when you need them, but God is spirit and he's with you right there. Even if you decide to have a conversation with God, he's there listening, as long as your spirit is aligned with his spirit. And how does your spirit align with this? By just discovering his presence in your life. That's it. You realize that he's your father. You don't have to be taught how to approach your father. Talk to your father. Talk to him as a friend. He's just a friend who's there 24/7. And the moment you discover his presence, there is a shift in your mindset. There is a shift even in your spirit, and it will feel at home. You will feel protected. You will feel heard, understood. You will feel powerful. And also, the moment you discover the Spirit of God, there are things you cannot do even if you try. Once God has established his presence in your spirit, you are under his control, right? It's just like it's just discovering that you have a hand. The moment you discover you have a hand, there are things you cannot do because you have a hand. There is a hand to help you, right? You cannot use just one hand after you discover you have another hand, right? Ecclesiastes, the first sentence is, vanity of vanities. Vanity is anything that is done out of God's will, out of God's plan, out of God's inspiration. That is vanity. Anything you do in this life without the insight or the inspiration of God or the guidance of God is pure vanity. And it's vanity because it won't come with satisfaction, with peace of mind, with happiness, with contentment. Yeah, see it, just discovering that God is with you forever. That is the game changer, right? So I think I'm gonna end this video at this particular point. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Yeah, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye.